Tight supplies continue to be the story in the cattle sector as the month of March gets underway. Extension Ag economist Brian Williams answered some questions about one of the important monthly barometers of this livestock market. Brian, our latest cattle on feed numbers pertain to the month of January. Was there anything that really stood out to you as significant in that report?
Well, to run through the numbers, our number on feed was down about 2.8%, and our marketings were down about 5.5%, and those weren't too surprising. But where the big surprise is in our placements, and they were up about 8.6%, and that's compared to the expectation of 2.8%.
Now, I know you told me before we started recording you've been trying to see maybe what the basis of that was, and it's still not exactly clear, is it?
Well, there's a lot of things that could be playing into it. What we really think is the biggest factor is the markets. The prices were really spiking in January. Our boxed beef, our feeder cattle were all spiking in January. And so what it really looks like is that's what the markets were calling for, was more feeder cattle in the feedlots.
All right, well, I know when we talked about cattle about a month ago, there was a lot of commentary analysis out there that wholesale beef may have climaxed, reached its top. What have we seen in the last 4 or 5 weeks in that regard?
Well, we've seen them come back down a little bit, but over the last couple of weeks they've been recovering. Right now, last week they were trading an average of $2.18 per hundredweight, which was up $7 a hundredweight for the week before, but they're still not anywhere near where they were in January.
And on the retail side, some pushback, any at all going on from the price picture?
Not particularly. The consumption isn't as high as we'd like, but there's a lot of other factors playing into that. There's the cold weather and the snowstorms that are keeping people out of the restaurants, keeping them out of the backyards grilling and those sorts of things. But price-wise, there's really not been a lot of pushback. Now,
briefly on the other side, feeder cattle market, what's been happening there in the last few weeks?
Well, they've been real strong as well, the feeder cattle have, and that's despite some of the cold weather and those sorts of things. And corn prices have also been coming up, but it looks like the supplies are really driving that market and helping to boost our feeder prices.
And last quick question, calf prices, how are they looking as we move through the year here?
Well, again, they're remaining strong. Another report had come out on our cattle numbers, and the numbers were down slightly, down 1% from a year ago. So the supplies are just real tight, and so that looks good for our calf prices going forward as well.